Very good morning to everyone. In this lecture, EC8791 Embedded and Real-Time Systems, MAM School of Engineering, Trichurapalli. The second topic, Embedded System Design Process. So the design process, the introduction of the embedded system and also the history of embedded system, we have to study the previous session. Now in this session, the design process of embedded system design. So there are the two objectives as follows. Number one, it will give an introduction to various steps in embedded system design, that is a design methodology, the design to ensure that we have done everything we need to, such optimizing performance or performing functional test. It allows you to develop the computer aided design tools. A design methodology make it much easier for member of a design team to communicate to the interfaces. Here the level of abstract in the design process, it is first one is a requirement. It is a collection of requirements. It can be classified into functional or non-functional like requirements. In functional requirements, gather, it is an informal description from the customer, and second one, refine the requirement into a specifications that contain each information to the design the system architecture, and the example of sample requirements form name, purpose, input and output, functionals, performance, manufacturing cost and physical weight and size. So the name giving a name of the project, and the purpose, it is a objective. So brief one or two line description of what the system is supposed to do, and the input and outputs, that is the analog electronic signals or digital data or mechanical inputs. And then functions, it is a detailed description of what is the system does, and the performance, it is a computation must be performed within a certain time frame. And then manufacturing cost, the cost of the hardware components, and also the power, it is how much power the system can consume. And then weight and size, it is an indication of physical size of the system and physical weight of the system. So this is a flow chart of the level of abstraction in the embedded system design processing, that is a requirements, collection of requirements and specifications, and then we need to design the architecture and the components levels and the system integration output. Now we move on to the non-functional requirements. So the non-functional requirements, the first one is a performance, and second one is a cost level, and a physical size and weight level, power consumption level. The performance level, it is dependent upon the approximate time to perform a user level functions, and also the operation must be completed within the deadline. And then the cost, the manufacturing cost including the cost of the components and the assembly, non-recurring engineering cost include the personal and other cost of the designing the system. And then the physical size and weight, the final system can vary depending upon the applications. And the power consumption, the power can be specified into requirement stage in terms of battery life. So these are the four different category of non-functional requirement: performance, cost, physical size and weight, power consumption, etc. Now what is the specifications? The specifications must be carefully written so it accurately reflect the customer requirements. So it can be cleared followed during the design. It is a real time design. To be the specifications we need to very important. Next one is a architecture design. The architecture is a plane for the overall structure of the system. It is in the form of block diagram such shows the major operations and the data flows. And then the designing hardware and software components. The architectural descriptions tells us what components we need, include both hardware FPGA board and software modules. And then the system integration, it is only after the components are built, putting them together and seeing a working system. And then bugs are found during the system integration, and good planning can be help us find the bug quickly. Next, the embedded system design example, that is a GPS moving system. It is a vertical and horizontal plane of the GPS moving system. Here the design process, what is the different design process of GPS moving system? First one is a requirement analysis of GPS moving map. The moving map is handheld device that display for user a map of terrain around the user current position. The map display the changes as the user and the map device change the positions. The moving map obtained its position from the GPS satellite based navigation system. So what is the category design process step? What is the requirement category? That is a name. It is a GPS moving map, and the purpose, it is a consumer grade moving map for driving use, and input and output, that is a buffer, power buffer and two controlled buffer are used in the input side, and output is a LCD display is monitored to the level of the project. And the functions, it uses a 5 receiver GPS system, 3 user selectable resolutions. It is always displayed current latitude and longitude. And also the performance, the update the screen within the 0.25 second upon the movement, and the manufacturing cost, and then power level, it is consumed the minimum of 10 milliwatts, and the physical size and weight, it is a no more than the 2:6 ovens. Now the design process step, the functionality, the another process is functionality. The system is designed for highway driving and a similar user. The system should show major road and other landmark available in the standard topographic databases. And then the user interfaces, the screen should have at least 400 into 600 pixel resolution. The device should be controlled by no more than 3 buttons. The menu system should pop upon the screen when the button are pressed to allow the user to make selection to the control system. And then the performance, the maps should scroll smoothly upon the power up. A display should take no more than the 1 second to appear. The system should be able to verify the position and display the current map within the 15 seconds. And then the cost, the ceiling cost of the unit should be not more than the 100. Another physical size and weight, the device should fit controllability into the plane of the hand and the power consumption the device for at least 8 hours or 4 AAA batteries. Now we move on to the specifications. The data received from the GPS satellite constellation and then map data and user interfaces and operations that must be performed to satisfy the consumer request, and then the background action requirement to keep the system running, such as operating the GPS receiver. Now in this lecture we studied the embedded system design process, different level of process, that is the requirement level and then specifications level and then architecture level and then components level and then system integration level. In next session we are going to discuss the embedded system design module. It is an example of design module is a model train controller. Thank you for watching this video.